So 6 of them are running to take over. Yeah, you kind of forget that Rishi Sunak is still I was about to say still the Prime Minister. He's still the leader of the Conservative Party. I haven't seen this fella for about 8 weeks. So where's he gone? Since he lost the election, really. It's an irrelevant position right now, but of course whoever takes over will become incredibly relevant, particularly up against the soul-destroying nature of what we're seeing so far from the Labour Party. So we've got 6 of them altogether running to take over from Rishi Sunak. November the 2nd is the time, just following the party's conference. We will hear who is the next leader. Of course, they had their worst election defeat in parliamentary history just 2 months ago. So who can take over? So there is 6 of them altogether, all right? And I'll give you a bit of information about each one, and we'll just let you have a listen in a second as well. So we've got Tom Tugendhat, he's 51, MP for Tunbridge and Moorland since 2015, former security minister, used to be a journalist at the Lebanese newspaper, did you know this, called the Daily Star. A very different offering, I think, over there in Lebanon. He studied at the University of Bristol and also Cambridge. Let's have a listen to Mr. Tugendhat.
Now, let me say that again to be absolutely clear. My mission is the happiness and prosperity of the British people. Now, it's easy to say, but it's tough to deliver.
That's him. He's up against, well, there's 5 altogether, 5 others. Kemi Badenoch, some say Badenoch. Badenoch. She's 44. She's the MP for North West Essex. Used to be Saffron Walden. She's been there since 2017. She's a former business secretary and minister for women. She used to work, you ready for this? She used to work in McDonald's back in the day. And she went to the University of Sussex. Here's Kemi Badenoch.
We talked right but governed left. Sounding like Conservatives but acting like Labour. Government should do fewer things, but better. And what it does, it should do with brilliance.
There it is. She's hoping for the big job, and at the moment, she appears to be the favourite. Then there's James Cleverly. Now, he's 54 years of age. He's been the MP for Braintree in Essex since 2015. He's a former Home Secretary. He's also a former Foreign Secretary. He used to work as an advertising manager, studied at Ealing College of Further Education. Nothing too grand about that. Let's have a listen.
I will commit, as Prime Minister, to spend 3% of GDP on defence.
There it is. That's his commitment. Big star of the Tory party, particularly the Tory right, is Priti Patel. She's 52 years of age. She's the MP for Witham in Essex. She's had that position as Member of Parliament since 2010. She's a former Home Secretary, did 3 years in that job. She studied at the University of Essex. Here she is.
Under my leadership, I will bring our party experience and strength, and I will get us back to winning ways.
To winning ways, she says. Well, she might, but she doesn't appeal to all of her party, and that might be the biggest problem. Again, another person in that position of appealing maybe to one sector is Robert Jenrick. He's 42. He's the MP for Newark. He's been in that position since 2014, former immigration minister. He used to work as a corporate lawyer. He was also a director at Christie's, the auction house as well. Here's Robert Jenrick.
Anyone who comes here illegally should be deported within hours and days, not weeks and months. That is the will of the British people.
There it is. And the eldest, or is it the oldest? Mel Stride is 62 years of age. He's the MP for Central Devon. He's been there for the last 14 years, since 2010. He was Financial Secretary to the Treasury, used to run a business setting up trade exhibitions, and studied at Oxford. Here he is.
So what we've got to do is get the Conservative Party back into fighting shape. And that's what this leadership contest is all about. And what I want to see is us getting Conservative values out there front and centre.
So they are the 6 runners and riders. 2 women, 4 men, 2 Oxbridge, 3 from Essex constituencies, 2 former Home Secretaries, 3 from ethnic minority backgrounds, and all essentially from middle-class families. So that is the choice facing Conservative members. Which one of those 6 could conceivably beat Keir Starmer? Remember, that is ultimately the question. So they've got to be able to unite their party, obviously. They've got to appeal to the wider nation, but they've got to be able to beat Keir Starmer. Which one of those three? Those names again, there they are. Tom Tugendhat, Kemi Badenoch, James Cleverly, Priti Patel, Robert Jenrick, Mel Stride. If you lean to the right, if you were previously or still are a Conservative voter, just think about that list. Which one do you think should win, could win and could beat Keir Starmer? 0344 499 1000. Nobody else will be added to that list. You might get one or two drop out. That's possible, not probable, but it's certainly possible if they didn't fancy it any longer. And then they'll back somebody else. But as we get there, November the 2nd is when we will know who is the new leader of the Conservative Party. But who could win an election? It's all very well. Well, Tom's got this quality. James Cleverly's got that quality. Jenrick said a lot about immigration. Mel Stride, a little older, so more experienced. Kemi Badenoch seems to be fairly forthright and tells it like it, blah, blah. The list goes on. They've got to be able to win an election. Who of that lot could do it and take the or at least begin the journey of bringing the Conservative Party back to life? Because that party, kids, is dead. I mean, that needs a little bit more than a drop of resus. That's full, ongoing treatment for many, many years to get them back on any kind of semblance of credible track. Is it possible? Who of that lot could do it? Are you Team Mel, Team Robert, Team Priti? Could it be James Cleverly, Kemi Badenoch or Tom Tugendhat? Which one could do it? Which one would which one would take you away from the party that a lot of people went reform, didn't they, from the Conservatives at the last election? Do any of those names that you just heard there make you think, right, OK, next time I won't go reform if this person is in charge of the Tories? They've got to get serious. Being in opposition is said to be the worst job in politics. There's also a bit of a gift of being in opposition. You can pretty much promise quite a lot. You have none of the responsibility of running, frankly, anything. So you can make your mark quite well. And that mark is made usually at the open goal that the government of the day leave you. You can fire in those shots all day long and do pretty well. But which of the contenders is likely to cause not just a bruise, but a political injury so fatal that the opposition find themselves back in power?